Welcome back to the Just in Time podcast. I'm your host, Justin. With me is Will, and we've got a lot to talk about. Some big
Yes, we do,
things
brother.
happened.
Yes,
Some big stuff happened.
big
Starting
time, man.
off with, we'll go into basketball first, and then we'll shift into some baseball.
Apparently, we have a general back, brother.
Personally, I love the decision. I mean, I don't think our athletic department under Joe Oliva handled that situation the best. At the time, I do agree he needed to be let go to save other sporting programs
Yeah,
like football. But, thank you, Texas A&M. You started all of this for us. You put us on the map back on the map in both football, and I ain't gonna say we're gonna be back on the map in basketball because we weren't on the map. We're joining a conversation now in basketball. Been a couple of decades since we've even been in the conversation,
yes,
but we're joining
definitely.
the conversation again. All thanks to you, Colt members over there at Texas A&M at College Station. If you don't remember, here's a refresher for you. On October 25th, you came in and what's the right word for this? Embarrassed us, embarrassed the program, and we got rid of a clown.
Yeah, rough.
Led
It was
us to
rough
get rid of
night.
a clown. So thank you for that. But also, McMahon wasn't a clown. He's a nice guy. I've never met him, but from what I hear and everything, he's a class act, and
Yeah,
he just couldn't get over the hump and win in the SEC.
yeah,
So what does that do? Now we got to, not only do we have an athletic director that's not afraid to go out and not get coaches he thinks is great, but coaches that are actually great. I'm not going to sit here and shit on Scott Woodard, but with him, I don't think we would have gotten Lane Kiffin. I don't think we would have gotten Will Wade back. Actually, I know for a fact we wouldn't have gotten Will Wade back. The man who fired him wasn't going to turn around and rehire.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. It makes
Given
you
the
look.
circumstance. Yeah,
But at first, I was kind of like, where are we going with this athletic director stuff? But it's turned out great for us.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, you got to look at it. Look at the facts. We fired two coaches that weren't winning. We've got a guy in Will Wade who's already proven he can do it at LSU. Didn't he win the SEC a couple times?
I want to say he won.
At least once.
Yeah, at least once. Yeah.
Yeah. He was pretty deep in it in the tournament when they decided to suspend him for the biggest game when they came out with that original NCAA findings.
Yeah, the
Which
wiretaps.
which to me at the time, they didn't even know about the wiretaps, or the public didn't know. You suspend your coach, that just is admitting guilt
Mhm.
to me. Why would you do that?
Yeah,
Let him finish out the season and then put him on a suspension. But the crazy part about it is they did all of that, and then they brought him back for at least 2 more seasons.
listen, man, it was such a turn of events with this whole situation, man. Like you said, we wanted to talk about Will. Just you talk about as most of an uncanny situation as you ever find. Like this is one unique outlier situation. And look, I've seen the last week or so. NC State folks are bitter. They're not happy.
Yeah,
They're
well,
not happy.
like he said, they are bitter about a coach they didn't think was that great in the first place.
Yeah. Hey, listen, and what's funny about that is and listen, I get it. Here's the thing, like, and I'm not like LSU in terms of men's basketball. LSU, it's a terrible job. There's like nothing. There's no. That is just factual evidence.
There's
You
no
have 40.
bright spot in that job.
Like, listen, like we were born in '93, right? So they've been to
Yeah.
one Final Four in our lifetime.
Mhm.
One. It was 2006. We were in 6th grade the last time we went to the Final Four in the men's
Yeah.
program.
Look at this. Here, I'll sum it up for you. This sums it up to me. What other coaching job in what other school for program do you hire? You hire a coach that you fired,
Yes.
but not only that, the coach that you fired to replace him before he got fired is back on his staff.
Yes, that's right. That's good, man. Oh my gosh.
That's to me,
That's
that
that's
sums
LSU
up LSU
basketball
men's
for you.
basketball.
That's the program for you right there. That's it.
But yeah, but I didn't listen to much of his press conference because I had that
Yeah, I mean,
class.
Yeah.
but I put it on a little bit while were doing some stuff and was listening to it. And the spot where I just turned it off because it was just funny, and I said I was going to watch it later,
Yeah.
was when he said he was there to make history one way or another.
Yeah.
He was either
I saw
going to win a
that.
championship and hang a banner, or he was going to be the first coach to be fired from the same school twice.
Yeah. Yes. History be made either way, brother.
Yep. But
Either way. I
I
love it.
love the hire because, like I said, I'm not that big into basketball.
Mhm.
But I went when I was in college. When we were in college, I went to more men's basketball games at LSU just because Will Wade was the coach, and I thought, "Oh, we got a good chance
He
to win
brought the
these
energy.
games."
Yeah. He brought the
Yeah,
energy. Yeah.
it was a great time. That will wade for you shirts that they
Yes.
put
Oh,
out on the
yes.
things.
All the
Yeah,
time. Yeah. Yeah.
it was a good hire. I think it's a good hire. I think we're gonna do a lot of. I'm not saying we're gonna win it all, but also don't look for it to be a successful year right off the bat.
Yeah,
I
like, and
mean,
that's yeah, and that's the thing I wanted to talk about. Just like it's a terrible job. Like, just I know people are very happy at LSU right now, and right, understandably so. It's an awful job. NC State is a far better basketball job historically and currently. But just
mhm,
given the situation with the alignment that he stressed on from McNeese State alignment,
yeah,
and then just like the fans, it's like two just intangible pieces that are hard to ignore. And then a lot of people talked to, NC State people talked about how, well, he's a betrayer, he's a traitor. I'm like, listen, he was caught on FBI wiretaps way before you hired him.
exactly.
So it's like that lets me know that you're just bitter about you got spurned. And I get like
Yeah,
I know people they should honor their word, absolutely. Your word should be your
mhm,
bond. My pastors always tell us that. Your word should be your bond. And then but when people this is why I hate so much when just fans and pundits, they get so they always crush these young adults, these athletes about transferring they quit on the team, they used to fight and this but the coach's been doing this for decades.
mhm.
They've been doing this for decades. What's new?
Yeah, but look, what made Will Wade really bad, I don't know if this was an AI generated thing, but apparently
Gotta ask that these
he
days.
bought the house in Baton Rouge on February 23rd,
Yeah.
or put in an offer for it,
Mhm.
which is he's perfect for LSU. We need those kind of big, personalities. But on that same topic, we'll stick with basketball real quick. Kim Mulkey's not retiring. And the fact that she told them reporters that she only 63, is in good health, she's got a stent, but her doctor says she's fully healthy.
That's the lure.
And she's not retiring. She don't know who started that. And then somebody showed me that the dude who posted it on Twitter doubled and tripled down on it after she said she wasn't retiring. But she also told them reporters, "Do I look that bad?"
Yeah, so bad.
But, we'll jump right while we're on the topic before we start. Who was it? Let's see. Gabriel Relford tore his ACL. He's out for the
Yeah.
season for
Such
football.
massive, massive loss. I hate it.
Yeah.
Hate it, hate
I
it.
will say this, at least it's not in season. It happened now. So it's not really setting us back in the long run.
Still got guys gonna emerge. Yeah.
It's a huge loss, but it's not like you are in in week 5 and
Mhm.
he blows a tire out. You're in spring training, you've got time to prep other guys to step up and get it done.
That's right. Yeah.
And to me, that's important. Now, time for baseball, which has been depressing for the last couple weeks. I'm not gonna lie, on Friday night, I thought it would be depressing. Depressing weekend.
It looks
Jason
bleak.
Evans comes out and looks atrocious for the first 2 innings. Then he settled down and, considering the state of our starting pitching, did his job. I can't be mad at him. He fought through it and he pitched.
Yeah, to his credit, yeah.
Let's see. I think he threw 3 scoreless. He settled down and I think he threw 3 scoreless. Okay. The fourth he threw, fifth he threw, and sixth he threw. He gave up 7 runs in 4 runs in the first 2 innings. And then he threw 4 scoreless innings to get us into the sixth and keep us in
Yeah.
the game. Can't be mad at that.
Yeah, relative to our start, like I said, it's still another rough outing, but when you were able to just really extend like that, obviously you don't want to give up the runs, but it was just too much to overcome, especially with the offense's inconsistencies in the last month.
Exactly.
So it's just too much to overcome.
Then you've got put in Plog to pitch for Evans in the 7th, and he gave up another three runs to make it 7.
Mhm.
I think was the final of that game. Yeah, 7-4. But like I said, that was a depressing. I left that game early because I tried to come back to finish watching the women's basketball game.
Yeah.
But
That
then
was a rough
you
day
go,
altogether.
yeah, no. Then we come back Saturday and we have a big game. William Schmidt shut him down. He looked
What a
real
clutch
good.
performance, man.
Then he pitched 5 1/3, gave up 6 hits, walked 2, struck out 3. And then you got Zach Cowan coming in and through the rest of the game, gave up 1 hit, walked 1, 7 strikeouts.
That's his third straight scoreless outing.
Yeah. And he looked fantastic. And shout out to the Diamond Baseball.
Yes.
Cowan's on my fantasy team for that.
Good, good.
Yeah. So he does good, will look good, but huge weekend for him. And honestly, I don't know who we start on. We could get into the Sunday game. I don't know who we need to start, but Guidry's not a starter.
Yeah, yeah.
He went 1 1/3, gave up 3 hits, 6 runs, 4 walks in 2 hit by pitches. We can't have that. Luckily for him, he didn't pick up a L because Garcia, Benj, Williams, Rizzi, Sharon, and Lockemeyer and Fotno picked it up and helped him. But also some guys we're going to talk about on this other list, helped him offensively, and none bigger than Seth Dardar.
Oh man. What a resurgence, bro. Massive, massive comeback.
Yeah, and then all he does last night was
Add to it.
come off the bench after a rain delay and hit a triple.
Yes. First of the year.
Yep. Could have used that on Sunday. You would have hit for the cycle.
Hey.
But, I mean, Dardar's bat went farther than any ball Jake Brown unfortunately hit all weekend.
Hey, look, that
Yeah. Then that center fielder for Southern last night,
oh my Radcliffe is the
that was
dude.
an amazing play.
Oh my
Amazing
gosh. You could
catch.
had tip, man. Just he's look, you know what's funny? What's funny? I
I
looked
can't
at his
believe we reviewed that. He jumped on the warning track, caught it, and hit the wall like this.
yes.
He caught the ball. Why did we waste
Complete
it?
completed the whole like football, you could complete the process. That's complete the process.
Exactly.
And the thing is, like, it's funny. I looked on Southern's website, sports website. Looked
Mhm.
him up. He's a senior, so unfortunately, he's not gonna have any eligibilities. I was listening to Morning Scone this morning. Some people said, like, we got to get Radcliffe.
Yeah.
That's
I
too
mean
bad. No eligibility, Lou.
I mean, they came out. I don't know what happened to Stanfield with that one, but that game should have ended a lot earlier.
Yeah,
I'm not hating on him. He makes that play 9 out of probably 10 out of 10 times now that
yeah,
he missed that one. I don't know if it went through the webbing of his glove or it just went off. He misread it and it went off the top, right off the top. But it's very rare for him to do that. But he is on fire offensively lately.
yes. Oh, yes. He look singled in the first, got on base 4 times through 5 innings yesterday.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
I mean, it's crazy. And like we said before, having him come back was huge.
Yeah. And people say online he's the leader of the team. I say just like yeah, and it's hard to argue that because just immediate when you talk about immediate impact, led the team in conference batting average last year, and then you
Mhm.
come back off like missing like a couple weeks, and you have an instantaneous response for the team. Yeah, you just can't
Yeah,
replace that. It's hard to replace that.
exactly. And I will say this, that game on Sunday, the fight and everything they got,
Yeah.
I screenshotted it. We started the weekend off, okay, as a 3 seed,
Hmm.
and they had a Baseball America, which nobody cares about Baseball America. Might as well shut their doors. The only ones people care about nowadays is the D1.
D1.
D1 is the poll that everybody uses anyway. But LSU is a projected 2 seed right now. We've gone from
Yeah.
a 3 seed to a 2 seed, and they have us projected going to Virginia, but I think that's gonna all
Yeah, I saw
change.
that already.
We've got a lot of season and a lot of ranked teams and a
Yeah.
lot of very good teams left to play. At current, we are 3 games behind in the SEC, and
Mhm.
oddly enough, and I don't remember this ever happening, but LSU was the only team to not sweep that one weekend series this weekend to not have a sweep.
Mm.
The
Interesting.
LSU Kentucky series was the only weekend series that went 2-1.
I think Tennessee got swept by Vandy
Tennessee
this
got
weekend.
swept by Vandy on a
Wasn't it like walk-offs every game or
2 walk. I think it was at least 2 walk-offs because one on Saturday was 16 innings and ended in a bunt, a walk-off bunt, and then the one on Sunday ended in a walk-off. I think it was a walk-off grand slam
my gosh.
for Vandy. But we are 4-5 in the SEC, much better place than we were on at this time in 24. And I think it's starting to come together. We're turning more double plays. We're trusting Dardar and Milam are trusting each other to
Yeah.
turn to double
He's really
plays.
picked it up defensively.
Honestly, unless Dardar or Pearson goes down, I don't see Caraway getting into this lineup because Pearson's doing a fantastic job at third base.
Yeah.
And Dardar and Milam seem to be doing that, but it's hard to take Dardar's bat out the lineup, especially when he's playing a good second base. He's not throwing the ball away like he did at the beginning of the season.
I know with Pearson, like I know like he had a bad like toward the end of the game yesterday, like he had a bad like arrow throw to first. It was because it looked like the delivery was kind of lazy or just like delayed. I was like, I don't like the look how it's coming out. Obviously, you can see the ball fall short of first base, but
Yeah.
like just like the windup was kind of delayed or the windup was kind of
Yeah. I
not
mean, I did.
fluid. I can't really it's hard to describe.
Yeah. I'm no. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see it because they started that game back up at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, listen, like I finished my notes this morning. I was
I
like, I'm
watched
just go to sleep
them.
early and just
I
do
watched them
everything
to
else.
get to. I watched them get to 16-6, and I was comfortable they were going to win. Hopefully, they 10-run ruled, and I went to bed
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, I still do.
because there was the way the weather was last night. They could have ended up in another 2-hour rain delay.
Yeah.
But I think I put it in my notes with Dardar. Hopefully, I wrote this down. Okay, this was. Da, 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 da. I didn't write it down apparently, but he was. Maybe I did. Where's mine? Dardar for the Kentucky series was 6 for 10, 4 doubles, and that huge 3-run home run, you know?
He leads the LSU in doubles right now.
Yeah, and then Pearson is just on a hot streak at the plate. But Milan hit that ball so hard last night from the left side
Yeah.
that he put him in a lightning delay.
Perfect timing too. That's
I
funny.
mean, you can't get it don't get much better than that.
Yeah.
But Jake Brown needs to calm down, get it together. We can't be wasting challenges on balls that you think you can't believe that was caught. Because everybody in that stadium knew that he caught that ball last night, except Jake Brown. I think he was just shocked that somebody did what he couldn't do in the outfield
Hmm.
and made a catch. It was a blow to his ego.
That guy is a dude, man. Just he made
Yeah.
like 3 great catches. I'm like, but like you see a pattern here already.
Yeah.
I was to see.
But I mean, look, for me, we've cleaned up some aspects of the game and then we suffer in another one. And where
Yes,
we
that's
suffered twice this weekend was base running.
yeah.
Omar Cerner at first, they hit a long fly ball to center field. He gets doubled up at first because I don't know what I looked up and it looked like he was on second base, like he was tagging, waiting for him to catch it and to tag and go back to first on second instead of just going halfway and waiting to find out what went on. Then Mason Braun, I would have glued him to the bench until until the next practice where he learned how to run the bases. Because it was a big moment. I think we were still down by 2. Is this the game? Yeah. Let's see. think it was it the eighth? No, it must have been Braun singled, then Dardar advanced to third, then Stanfield singled to right field. Josh Jordan is sitting there before he even rounded second to come with his hands out like stop sign, and he just never even looked and was out by 3 or 4 feet, 3 or 4 steps at third. And at that point in the fifth, we were down by 3
Yeah.
at that point. So that was huge, you know?
Yep. Yes, indeed, man. Just,
At that point, that was huge. So we need to run the bases better.
right.
We can't get we can't get the offense going and then forget how to run the bases.
But yeah, this is a common theme with the team this far this year. Just like, you rise in one area and then like you drop in another.
Yeah.
Like there's no, we're not, we got to hold up all the cups right here at
Yeah.
the same level.
Exactly. But, this weekend was full of drama.
Yes.
I have never seen a coach whine like Nick Mangione at
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Oh my gosh. It's like it's always something. I said, man.
Whines specifically, okay, we had that double play that Brown got from a single they threw, and he threw it straight to the plate. Or no, it was a fly out, and because we got a double play on it, was a fly out from right, and then runner was on third, and he hosed him at the plate. Went and tried to complain that Josh Pearson obstructed the runner from leaving third in a timely manner. Then we had a 15-minute delay because he couldn't understand and get it through his thick skull that that is not a reviewable play. Then Dardar almost got Kentucky's pitching coach wanted to start a fight with Jay Johnson.
Like, yeah, because Jay was mouthing out. It was
Yeah.
intense. It was intensity in that series, man.
Yeah, but I mean, you got Kentucky who on walk, every time the pitcher throws the ball, they sit there, that batter sit there, and like, what are you doing?
Oh my
Like, you're
gosh.
not. If a
Had to
pitcher threw me
stand
a
down.
ball, the pitcher threw me a ball, I would look in and just lock back in, not beat my chest like a moron. I mean, you're not. It's not. It's like when defensive players in football, the kid trips over his shoelaces and goes down, and they go down untouched, and those linebackers and cornerbacks just start beating their chests and puffing out their chest like they made the best tackle in the country that night. Like they just made the most amazing tackle of their career. That's going to get them to be number 1 in the draft. And the kid tripped over his shoelaces. It was like that. Kentucky, they were throwing balls and they were beating their chest like they did something. Like they made the pitcher throw a ball. No, it was this trash umpire behind the plate that didn't know a ball from a strike or a check swing to save his life.
The ABS, the
We
ABS
need to get that.
it's taking the MLB by storm. People love it.
I love it.
My gosh, that's
And
all
I
another
love
term.
the
I
rule.
love it.
I also love the rule that you cannot use ABS if a position player has to come in to pitch. I love that rule because that happened, and I think somebody got mad and almost got thrown out of the game last week because a position player was pitching, and he was okay. This was clearly a ball. It crossed him at his eyes, and that umpire said strike 3.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, personally, I think that is just when the umpires can be petty and be like their old horrible selves.
But see, and but people say that about them because it's like their egos are too big.
Yeah,
It's like they don't come to the game for you. I mean, we just want you to make the great calls. Nobody's
yeah,
saying your job is easy and it's perfect, but it's like you got to
yeah.
be excellent.
I mean, look, Musso said it best at the game, yelled it at the umpire. The reason AI is taking over their jobs is because they're so terrible at their jobs. There was one where it was clear ball for him. The bat was on Milam's shoulder, and he just went like this. They said the home plate umpire didn't even point to get a second opinion from the first or I think it was third base umpire. Didn't even bother going to check with him. Rang him up, called him out, strike 3. They're the reason why we have this ABS system. They're the reason why robots are taking over as umpires. And I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of years they just go fully automated and they get rid of all umpires.
Listen, like the thing is, like that's it's already a privilege that you still have your job because people have been calling for your
Yeah,
jobs for years already. You just look into the WBC like a couple weeks ago. It's like Venezuela. I think it was Venezuela. They lost to the U.S. on a bad call. I'm like, man,
yeah,
that is a terrible call. That's a terrible miss. I was
mhm,
shocked they called. I said, oh well, that's
yeah.
rough.
I mean, you've got these guys, and I'm not saying it's easy to,
Yeah, definitely.
especially with the guys throwing like they throw nowadays, you know, to even see the ball coming in. Because I mean, and I'm not taking up for umpires because 90% of umpires that I've seen or I've ever had as long as you're an umpire or a referee, if I'm watching my team play or if I'm playing against you, it's 99% your fault, and I can't stand you, and I hate your guts. It's personal. But I will say this, as you know, you can stand there as a batter, stand in that box. That 100-mile-an-hour fastball is coming right at him like it is at you. All the difference is he's got to sit there, especially if he's behind LSU's catchers. He has to sit there and wonder if that kid's going to catch that ball or if he's going to get hit. And I'm wondering if those guys at LSU are that bad because Cade Beatty and Omar Cerna miss so many balls that they flinch every time the ball comes.
Mm.
I saw it today, and I want to know, is just catching in this country at this point across the country so atrocious
Man,
that Cade Beatty is on the midseason watch list for the Buster Posey Award, for the Catcher of the Year award. I'm not hating on Cade Beatty.
no,
I'm not
no, I
hating on
know.
him.
I trust. I know
I'm just saying that I'm just
because I know where you go with it.
you. At this point, sometimes I feel like I have a better chance of going out there.
No.
Haven't caught from a real pitcher since high school. My freshman year, sometimes I feel like I have a better chance of just sitting out there and just catching the ball. I've never seen so many balls bounce out of a catcher's mitt.
Yeah, man. Like speaking, I made a note. Just like I remember Cerna the other day. He did a great job extending like his like outstretching his arm just to prevent wild pitch scenarios.
Yeah,
I'm like, cause that was Sunday. Cause I was like, man, I'm looking at it was like at least 3 or 4 times. I'm like, man, cause
he did again
that's
last night too
yeah, just
on one. But I mean, dude, we're struggling to throw strikes, okay?
yeah,
You aren't helping anybody when you take a ball from right here and move it a whole 4
yeah.
inches in,
Just trying
you
to
know?
pitch frame, but I just like secure the pitch though.
I do like the fact that when we get these strikeouts nowadays, we're
Mm,
not throwing around the horn. We're not pretending to be something we're not. We're getting a strikeout, catching it, going straight back to the pitcher. I like that, you know? Gives you less time to mess something up. All right, now I got a question. I thought this was just a heads up baseball play last night by Milam. He's on first. It's a 3-2 count. He steals.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
He gets to second, looks over at third. Nobody's covering the bag because of a shift,
yeah.
and it was a walk. He takes off and goes to third. Southern makes a pitching change. Those umpires go tell Jay Johnson they're putting him back on third. Last I checked, a walk was not a dead ball. Why does he have to go back?
That's why I was the same thing I was wondering. I'm like, had a good day.
These catches and umpires are so quick to throw a ball out of play after a walk when there's runners on. I think that's what the reason why Milam had to go back. I don't know. They didn't show it because they had a pitching change.
Yeah.
I think that catcher looked at that ball, threw it to the side, and put his mitt up for the umpire to give him a ball.
Yeah, I was saying that. I was wondering. I'm like, man, because it shouldn't be
But
like
then
it's a lot of
again,
because he fumbled at second base. They had a fumble. They fumbled the ball at second base, and it's like, and then I don't know, man.
on
Mm-mm.
that one, it never even got thrown to second base. It
Yeah,
went straight to,
that's yeah, right. I'm thinking. No, I'm thinking about. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about one later. I'm thinking about something different. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
They threw it straight back to the
yeah,
pitcher, and the pitcher looked like he was confused,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I don't know. But big part of that is we win that game,
Yes,
and we're
3 in a
riding a
row.
3-game winning streak going into Tennessee.
Yeah.
And because that Diamond Baseball app is so helpful,
Yeah.
I don't know how much you've been using it.
It's been clutch with like the updates, man. Because ESPN, you can't rely on ESPN for baseball.
No,
It's
you can't
just
rely on
it's
ESPN for
ridiculous.
baseball.
That's like I quit on that early this year. I'm like,
Yeah,
can't do it.
but
But it's cool.
they are
It's handy.
it is so handy for me not have to go on the webpage and look up stats.
LSU Wire, because when the season started, it was the LSU Wire. Just the
Yeah,
front when I was at work trying to find the live updates.
but even like on Sunday when Kentucky would change pitchers, all I had to do was open the app, go to the pitchers tab, and
Mhm.
find, okay, here's where we're at. What number is he? We're about to get 4 runs off of him. He's got
Mhm.
7 innings pitched. He's given up 9 runs. That last guy Kentucky threw out there on Sunday, position player. He's an outfielder, listed as an outfielder and catcher. Found that out off that app as it was happening because nobody knew who he was, you know? But I got some information for the upcoming series. But just because I've listed it out every week so far since we started on this bad streak, the batting average, team batting average, has finally gone up. It's almost 300. We're at 291.
Yeah, yeah.
Team ERA is down from, let's see where I had it. It's a tick up. No, it's down again. We're at 452.
Okay. Yeah. I was thinking 5. There's 4 or 5.
Yeah, 452. And then, and I'm going to check that. I'm getting all these stats from, okay, so these are updated and good. The fielding percentage, that app has our fielding percentage at 972. LSU has our fielding percentage at 964. And LSU has our team ERA as 473. And they have it at 452. I'm going to just go at 452 because I'm going off the numbers I also got from that app for Tennessee. And I am going to go back and recheck this real quick because I made an error. See, it happens. Yeah, I made an error. I forgot it. I forgot it too. Okay, so then we go to Tennessee. Tennessee's team batting average is 273, so we got them there. But
Mhm.
that's about the only place we have them because their ERA is 370 and their fielding percentage is 985. We're getting better fielding, you know. We're getting better. We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're still not over that hump yet,
Right.
but we're getting there. And I like it.
Yeah, there's
And we're trending
any
upward.
momentum. Any momentum you can get. We desperately needed that Kentucky win. Anything you can pull from moving forward is what you should go with.
Yeah, you know, we're trending upward, and I like it. You know, the game seemed fun to them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it seemed fun to them. They're starting to hit again. They're starting to get it together, and I like that. You know, let's go into the powerhouse polls. I'll let you go first.
But then pulling it up right now. So week 7 powerhouse polls. So starting off with pitching, I got William Schmidt, Zach Cowan at 2, and Devin Sheeran to round out the top 3. Schmidt and Cowan, they produced a combined shutout on Saturday, versus in game 2 versus Kentucky. We just don't win the series without them. Like just
No,
yeah, just like even regardless of what happened, we could have won 50-2 in game 3 against on Sunday, but this
yeah,
series is something we had to have because we already lost the first 2
exactly.
conference. We already lost the first 2 conference series, and really dating back to Sac State, we've lost 3 series overall on the road. So it's like
Yeah,
we needed this one bad. And, just
and
yeah,
to that point, they said also, we were 3-15 in SEC play in 24.
yes,
We didn't win our first SEC series until we went and played Missouri in late April,
yeah,
and we won a SEC series in late March.
mm,
Because today is April Fool's Day, you know? So we're a month ahead of schedule for our comeback, which is why I personally think we could at least get to the host if we win we win out series-wise this
for
year, the
sure,
rest of
yeah.
this year. We can have our thing. But my first 2 are the same as you. I've got William Schmidt and Zach Cowan for the same reasons. we don't win this series without those two preaching performances.
Not at all.
But just because this is a guy who struggled in the past with control and he came out and looked good and got the save on Sunday, I got Grant Fontenot being my number 3 guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll go ahead for offense. You know, we talked about this already. Seth Dardar at number 1. He was 6 for 10 against Kentucky with 4 doubles and a
Yeah.
huge bat flip to give us the lead on Sunday.
Iconic. Oh my gosh.
Uh, John Pearson, because too, I don't think we're even in that game without his grand slam on Sunday.
Listen, I mean, listen, no doubt. We use the score because we struggle offensively. We get the hits, and when we do get the hits, we don't get them home enough.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that was something Jay said on Friday night. The key for them was they put it in their game plan and they wanted as goals string together 3 consecutive big hits. And they only did it once. But capping it off, I got Steven Monster Milam.
I saw that. Saw the
And
later.
yeah, well, last night I normally try to finish mine for the weekend series,
Yeah,
but I had to give it to Milam because not only did he have a 2 home run night, he did it from both sides of the plate.
yeah,
Yeah, which is the first time that's happened
and like
since he
24.
did it.
Yeah, and
Since he
24.
did
Yeah,
it in 24 against Wooford, which was a walk-off
yep,
for that regional game. You know, and then John Pearson, like I said, I don't think we're in that Sunday game without his grand slam, you know, and I give an honorable mention to Derek Curiel. He had
hmm
2 homers this week and a huge grand slam last night to
yeah,
put us back in the game
that's
before
right.
Milam got his second home run to tie the game. I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, so for offense, Seth Dardar was a clear number 1, reemerging a major way in this series against Kentucky. Like you had brought up, the 6 total hits, and he had 5 ribbies, including the monster 3, like I call it the monster 3-run go ahead homer in game 3. Just was the iconic bat flip with good measure for good measure.
Yep.
Like I said earlier, now leads the team in doubles this season. And also I put for, second place I got John Pearson and Stephen Byron rounded out just like you. Just they both had numerous RBIs. Like I was early in this most of the season, I looked at John Pearson, very powerful swinger, but just it's like swinger of the bat, but just it was a lot of strikeouts for what I've seen so far, but he's really
Yeah.
starting to find his groove. Just like, with power hitters, just it's hit or miss. I know that's cliche, but just it was like a lot of
No, you're
hard
right.
misses. But to his
Yeah.
credit, he's making contact, and you've seen in a major way this weekend. Monster Milo just doing it there, doing it all in all shapes and sizes, all forms.
Yeah.
That's just so impressive, just like to me, like the switch hitter, just to get the contact like that, just
Yeah.
seems very excellent. And I made a separate note, just originally I had Chris Stanfield at 3. It was a tough
Yeah.
omission because he was excellent. He had 454 during the Kentucky series, including 4 hits and a walk on
Yeah.
Sunday. Like you brought up Derek Curry. It was a tough omission, but like that's why I like to say that's a good problem
Look,
to
I'm not
have.
gonna lie. Before last night, Stanley was my number 3 guy.
Same here. I had him listed.
Yeah.
Yeah, same stuff.
It was a tough one, but what did it for me was Milam tied that game up when they found their fight.
Yes.
They found the fight in Fighting Tigers, and I'm hoping you can come back and beat a team in Tennessee this weekend who just came off the struggle bus, and we can leave them back on the struggle bus. We can be 7-5 in the SEC
Yeah.
with the Easter miracle.
For you,
Good Lord
that's we man.
rising, and LSU rising back up in the SEC polls.
Because we need his power.
It would be amazing.
Yes,
It would truly be an Easter miracle for us to go to Tennessee and get a sweep.
indeed. Of course. Especially they won this series too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let you go defense now.
Yeah, I got you. So defense rounded up, Steven Milam, Derek Curiel, or Jake Brown, the top 3. Yeah, like I said, the
Yeah,
Monster Milam, just as we said this last week, just sharpie him in. It just like defense is the race for second place at this point. But just
yeah,
I know I like had Steven like second or third like a couple weeks ago, but just outside of that, I mean, He's just a fixture in the top three. And Curry and Brown had were steady in the outfield for the most part.
Yeah.
Nothing really fielding wise really wowed me this stretch. They just made the routine plays as they should. There was no Ratcliffe web gems type stuff. Just
Yeah.
make the routine plays, which Curry was very
I mean,
active.
Curiel did have one to me. That one where he ran from left center to right center and plucked that ball out of the air. That was yeah, even though my number 2 and my number 3 guys both had major mess ups this weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
For their standards, okay,
Yes.
for Jake Brown, who's my 3 guy, that's not really for his standards. That's just how he plays. You take it or you leave it with him. But Stephen Milam, of course, my number 1 guy. I mean,
Yes.
turned a double play by himself on Friday.
Yes.
He's turned double plays by himself all season. Had a monster play to save a run from us losing 8-4 on Friday night.
Mhm.
Derek Curiel, like I said, he had that one play where he did, but he also had one where he took his eye off of it and he could have stood there and not jumped. He decided he needed to jump and he hit off the wall and he missed it. He misread it.
Yeah.
But he was such a solid player defensively that he took my number 2 spot. Then Jake Brown, just his arm got
Yeah.
him on this list.
Yeah.
That double play he got on Sunday was huge. It shifted the
Yes.
momentum in that game,
Yes.
you know? That's why he's on this list, you know. Will was gracious enough to update the polls for us for midseason.
Yes, sir. I got you.
So our leaders, pitching wise, it's William Schmidt's running away with it. Some guys are going to get a chance to come up and get second or third place since Moore is out. And by the way, speaking of Cooper Moore, to me, and I don't know how that sounds to you, but to me, it sounds a lot like the 3 season when we lost Edwards. And it sounds a lot like Guidry, too, when we lost Edwards in 23 and we lost
Mhm.
Chase Shores.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, they're close to coming back. They're close to coming back. Only for them to be said they the UCL or Tommy John,
Yeah, that's a
you
good
know?
point. Yeah.
And then Gavin Guidry was coming back all last year
That's
for
all
them to finally
man.
shut him down.
Yes. All I heard last year.
So I will choose to be kind of optimistic about it, but I will say I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come back this season.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Because it's unfortunate. Because especially Jay is always he's pretty close to the vest when it comes to injury. I understand
Yeah,
that from a certain standpoint, but I mean, it's his guys. You want to protect the guys, and you don't reveal too much.
exactly.
But just but as far as production wise, if you when you look at the screen share, I think shout out to Justin for the screen share and just Casey Evans has just a 1 point lead, but really Cooper Moore has been far more steady. It's just a case that
Exactly.
he just peaked higher because there's like twice in the last 4 weeks that Justin and I ranked Casey as the number 1 guy. So to his credit, he has his stuff, the Friday night stuff, but he's just not as steady enough. But Cooper Moore's been far more steady in comparison. So, obviously, with
Yeah,
his injury, obviously going to dip some more unless, Schmidt or Evans, God forbid, they just fall off the map performance wise. But William Smith's definitely been the steadiest guy. He's really emerged as
exactly.
the number 1 guy production wise on
Yeah,
paper. And that's reflected
yeah.
once again this past week.
Then look, I was very low on our pitchers 2 weeks ago. In case an Evan goes out there and has a career night,
Yeah.
I compliment him, and he has a career low lights.
Yeah.
You got to do better. You got to be better. I'm gonna come on here. You can throw, and just because I don't know what's going on, I'm gonna trash talk you, Casey Evans, every week. You could throw 21, get 21 strikeouts, and I'm gonna be like, well, you could have got 28.
25. 25.
Yeah, You could have gone 21. You could have got 22. She throws a perfect game. You could have got that 28th out.
Well, the game is only 27 outs. I don't care. Give me 30 outs.
You could have
Find the
got
three and I'm
28.
saying something.
You could have got that 28.
I'm not asking for 50. I'm asking for 28.
Yeah. But, Guidry didn't look good at all this weekend.
Yeah, he's really cooled off, man. Just he was our top. Zach Cowan on the standings and really surpassed him as in the
Yeah.
relieving spots. But
I
he's
mean,
really cooled off.
a week ago, they just left him in too long and cost us
Yeah,
that series win against Oklahoma. He was
yeah,
doing fantastic. But as a starting pitcher, and okay, here's what I think is his thing. As a relief pitcher, he's coming in those tight spots, those high energy spots.
yeah.
And that's what fuels him as a pitcher, is those high energy moments, those high adrenaline moments where the game is on the line, Him as a starting pitcher, he doesn't have that, high octane, this game is on me type of deal.
Right.
And I think it shows, and that's why I don't think he's a starting pitcher. I think we need to start somebody else on,
Which brings you to the point about you. It's interesting you say that because like going into this weekend, I just thought for sure Zach Kyle was the guy for day 3, but they actually brought him on Saturday. Now it paid off, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm not a 2-time
I'm not
champion
mad
coach.
at it because I'm not mad at that because that's a sure guy out the bullpen.
Yeah, and they needed the wins. In the situation, I understand.
It's tough to say, oh, let's not put in Cowan,
Mm-hmm.
And on Sunday, they said he went to the bullpen himself and said, I want the ball if it's a close one.
Yeah.
So we'll go. The next highest guy on this list is Zach Cowan, by the way, with 12 points.
Yeah, just leads the bullpen right now. As far as bullpen guys, leads the bullpen in both appearances and total points. So
Yeah.
he's really turned it around after his struggles to start the year. He's appeared on the pole 3 straight weeks.
Yeah, this one here is I really can see Curiel, Milam, Cerna, Dardar, if he keeps it up, at this halfway point in the season, swapping places with Jake Brown.
Yeah, so we got Jake Brown currently 9 points, 9 appearances total with a combined total of 34 points for the polls. So the second highest is Stephen Milam at 15. Got 2 guys at 12 apiece with Curiel and Dardar. Dardar had started off hot for us, and then he had picked it up with 2 first place finishes this week.
Yeah.
So,
And look, don't count Josh Pearson out. He's
4 and 12. That's
tied
right.
for third place too.
Yeah.
But you can't say enough about these guys. They start to come back.
Yeah.
With the exception of Mason Braun. He had a fantastic offensive weekend. The only reason he didn't is because base running to me, which, by the way, the new LVP award, the least valuable performance, goes to him in that exact moment with the base running. That's why he's at -1.
Yes.
Defense, this is never going to change. This is just a race for second place at this point.
That's right.
Eileman is at first with 52 points and 14 appearances.
That's right.
Maybe it's a race for third at this point because Derek Curiel's got 8 appearances and 24 points.
Yeah, next closest is technically Chris Stanfield, but I know you awarded the pitching points from a week or so ago, just because it was just that bad. You didn't think they were worthy, and I get it.
Yeah,
I understand.
And we got Chris Stanfield coming in third right now with 6 appearances and 17 points, and that should say something about his presence on this team.
Right.
And I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing and come back, but my tone-setting tiger for this week is, again, the whole entire team.
Yeah.
Keep that mindset that you had going into Saturday and Sunday's game, especially Sunday's game and even Tuesday's game where it was, we're going to fight and we're going to win, Keep that mindset, fight and win. And you got your first SEC series win. It was a dry month for March.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't win a series except for Kentucky in March. So keep that momentum going. The fight's not over. You got tough games. You got 2 road series back to back against 2 places that are tough to play, in Tennessee and Ole Miss.
3 of the next 4 on the road. So,
And most of the time, coaching decisions for other sports doesn't affect, but this is Ole Miss, and their fan base just tried to run a coach off the road. And you are going there in baseball. I can see them trying to run your team bus off the road. You know, it's a crazy time. It's a crazy time. You never know what's going to happen. The Lane Kiffin of the situation, we don't know what's going to happen,
yeah.
but energy is going to be high. I actually don't know because some LSU is weird. You could call us an everything school because even when the men's basketball team is terrible, they don't go to the games, but it was kind of like the women's basketball before Mulkey got hired.
Mhm.
Mulkey gets hired, season tickets, requests shoot up. At one point, 24 hours after Will Wade got hired, season ticket went up. 754 individuals have contacted LSU about season tickets
I always say
for
about
men's
college
basketball.
sport. I always say college sports, it's the coaching that matters. Obviously, you need players. I
Yeah,
get it. It's about the coaching in college. Like this, to move the needle like that.
exactly. But that's my tone setting tiger of the week is the entire team. Once
Mhm.
again, they just need to keep that mindset, keep that momentum they're building going, and get 3 more wins in the SEC this weekend.
Right. Yeah, as far as I'm with you, as far as everyone for the Tone Setting Tiger, but my angle specifically is like this consistency. You got to be
Yeah.
consistency. Like it's the hallmark of any respectable team. You're not gonna. I'm not saying you got to be like the '90s Yankees, but just like that dominant. But just like any
You
respectable
know what?
unit. Go ahead.
We'll settle for the '90s Tigers. We don't have to
That's
go over
fair
the top
enough.
with the
Come
'90s
on, look,
with
look
the '90s
the biggest.
Yankees.
Hey, and I'm saying that because I'm a Yankee guy, but just like, but yeah,
Yeah.
just like the thing is, even if you're not ultra elite, this all time special unit, like any respectable team is going to be consistent largely. And just yeah, I like the team with steadiness, like because like we said this, like I'm just tired of the Jekyll Hyde stuff. Just like is one thing, I don't know what I'm.
Yeah.
This is like this year, I don't know what I'm going to get. 99% of the time, I just don't know what I'm going to want to get from this team.
Exactly.
After the 8-0 start, you just don't know because
Yeah.
you could start seeing it during like that when we was playing Northeast. It was playing Northeastern and Dartmouth, like that 4-game stretch. You can kind of
Yeah.
see the cracks a little bit. You saw a little bit of McNeese with the
Exactly.
loss, and then just like that's when the floodgates open. Like you
Yeah.
said,
And,
Vandy, elite offense in Vandy, pitch is non-existent, and just vice
exactly.
versa the next year.
Yeah. And, look, it's funny that, talking about Seth Dardar's bat flip and all of that. I had this discussion with my dad this weekend where he was saying, back in his day, you ran, it didn't matter what happened, you ran to first base. You didn't watch the ball. And I just told him, yeah, that's because back in your day, that was before steroids. That was before they hit the ball. And people like Barry Bonds came in and was putting balls in lakes every other at bat. And nobody knew they could do that. So they just sat there in amazement and watched the ball fly out the park.
But and then think about it, it's like, there's a lot of dead ball errors in baseball history. Outside of like Babe Ruth
Yeah.
and stuff like Ted Williams, it's like that stuff wasn't super commonplace. It's always been a
Yeah. I
defensive
mean,
sport.
the reason why you
Shout
didn't
out to
see many
Pops though.
bat flips and the reason why you didn't see that many bat flips and stuff back then is because nobody was on steroids. They were just hitting a ball with a piece of wood and it just ran because they didn't know where it was going to go. But now these guys took steroids back in the late '90s, early 2000s. They found steroids, and when they hit it, the ball goes. Not to mention they hitting the weight training and everything
Yeah,
nowadays
of course,
that these guys have is leaps and bounds from what it was back in that time.
absolutely.
We're talking about the '70s and '80s here that he's talking about. For those of you that are younger viewers, yes, we are talking about the 1900s.
Back in my day,
I hate it when they say that. Yeah, we're talking about the 1900s here.
the early 20th.
Yeah, before steroids era in baseball, before people were starting to hit balls like that, get home runs became commonplace. That was back when LSU in the '90s was with those aluminum bats were hitting records in gorilla ball.
They changed the rules for us.
Yeah, and then in 2009 we went up with those orange stealth bats with the trampoline effect. The more you used them, the more they would hit, the better contact you would make. And then Marucci came out with those composite bats, and that's what we've been using. Which I like the fact that we send our guys up to north to play in those like the Cape Cod and all of that. Those are wood bat leads.
Yeah.
I like that fact, but closing thoughts?
Like I said, man, we needed this series week win from Kentucky. Like we said last week, last couple weeks, you and I are not really in a panic mode. Basically, you just got so many games to play. But just we both said if we did not win this Kentucky series, the tone is going to change for us a little bit. Thankfully,
Yeah,
we don't have to worry about it at least for another few days. But just they needed this so bad, and just the response was just incredible by this team.
exactly.
I commend those young men. I really do because they needed it.
Yeah.
I commend them.
And you look at it, as long as you make it to your conference tournament, which everybody makes it to the SEC tournament nowadays.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. As long as you make it to the postseason and you get hot,
Yep. That's what counts.
look at Ole Miss, and they won in 22, right? Or was
Yeah,
it
Ole Miss.
21? Mississippi
Ole Miss.
State and
Mississippi State won at
Mississippi State
21, and Ole
21.
Miss 22.
Ole Miss won 22. You look at that, and Ole Miss was atrocious in the SEC play until they played us. They played us. They beat us in a weekend series riddled with rain delays, and that's what kind of set them off. In my opinion, that's what got them in the tournament, was that win at LSU. But they come in with a losing SEC record. They make it all the way and win the national championship. That's why baseball is the greatest sport. Doesn't matter who you are, you can get beat on it every other day. Just look at Arkansas last night. Really, Arkansas over the weekend. Arkansas got swept at home by Florida this
It's
weekend.
rough for. They're not too happy
You
with.
know,
I saw them on Reddit. They're not too happy. What's the coach name? I can't believe I forgot.
Van Horn.
Van Horn. Yeah, TV. Yeah. So that's what I thought. Yeah, they're not too happy with him right now.
Look, y'all can hate on that man all he wants, but y'all are a school of failure.
Look, I don't. Yeah,
You're
like
not
you're
a.
right. Yeah,
I'm sorry, you're not a school of failure. You're a school of choking. Like that's your
better.
number one degree over there is choking.
Kevin.
Y'all choke in every sport. Don't blame that man. He's the winningest coach in baseball in y'all school.
Big.
Don't blame that man for what's going on. We all hit rough patches, and I'm not saying I like the man. I can't stand him. But don't blame him for what's going on over there. But they lost to Missouri State last night, 15-14 in 10 innings.
That's rough.
Yeah, so it's just baseball. It happens. I mean, we got beat by little brother a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
But it's just baseball. It happens. At some point, though, with LSU, it wasn't just baseball. It was poor decision making.
Mm.
And so poor decision making, and it looks like they've got that poor decision making, at least at the moment, locked down. But look, it's like Jay Johnson said in his post game on Sunday. I wouldn't be exactly too high on them right now, and I'm not, because they haven't shown they can do it consistently.
Yep.
Maybe next week when I'm on spring break and LSU pulls out a weekend series sweep at Tennessee, or I don't even need a sweep. I just need a series win on the road at a hostile environment.
Yeah.
You come out, and maybe then I'll say, they're starting to get consistent with it. They've proven they can consistently do it. To me, that's the key word of this week is consistency.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. Well, that'll do it for me. Got anything you want to add?
Always a pleasure to have me on, brother. I appreciate it always.
It was a pleasure to have you on, Will. I mean, it's always a fun time.
Yes, sir, indeed.
Especially to talk about multiple sports in one show.
Yes, versatile, baby.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it from us. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Shout out to Diamond Baseball, the Diamond Baseball app. Big things. They just added a website to where you can sign in and do your box score so the live updates get even better.
Ooh, that's tough.
They're continuously working to make this a great thing for college baseball and get college baseball out there.
Yeah,
I like that.
me too.
That's what baseball needs. You shouldn't have to pull up different teams' live stats page.
Yeah, like the live wire. I'm like, bro, this we in
Yeah, to get
2026,
a
man.
to get a consistent for something as big as college baseball.
It's America's pastime. So it's like tradition
Yeah,
historically. It's like just we shouldn't be still at this point in college baseball. I mean, I know it's regional, I get it. But
yeah.
it's just like
I mean,
you still
like
shouldn't be
it's
at this point though. It's like we still
yeah,
gotta do all these leaps
like
and
you can
bounds.
do it for all these college athletics. You can put them on. And to me, I think it's huge just for the fact that on any given day, you can go on ESPN on their app and watch any baseball game that you want, college baseball. Unless you're like D2 or a JUCO, they have every college baseball game on ESPN for the most part. That's huge. That's a step in the right direction. And look, I get it. Baseball is a weird sport. It's not like football or basketball. I mean, not even basketball. You find a way to put college basketball on there and make it huge
Yeah, I mean, just the two more popular, like it's
with
so
the
mainstream
same,
popularity.
yeah, and with the same restraints that I'm talking about for baseball. I get that baseball is not like football where NFL plays on Sundays, Thursdays
Mhm.
and Sundays and Mondays, and college football is mainly on Saturdays. I get that. Baseball is a different sport. Major leagues play and the college teams play. They all play on the same day. But there's no reason why college baseball can't be more of a forefront.
And it should be. It's crazy. Like 2020, we had to get like somebody else to create an app. But it's like we can't go to
Yeah,
like a mainstream like a it's outrageous. I'm just glad, like you
I
said, the
think
D1
what
shout out
will,
to Diamond.
yeah, if they pass that rule where like football, you have to go to college instead of going in the draft,
Mhm.
I think we will get more for college baseball
I agree.
because just like football, you're going to want to see where those kids are coming from. Like that's why guys like Paul Skeens, Alex Bregman, Dylan Cruz, Trey Morgan, Cade Anderson, and all of that. It's huge news for us and Jared Jones to name and Tommy White to name and Gage Jump to name a few. It's huge news for LSU fans when those guys go up. You see guys like Alex Lang, Austin Noah, Aaron Noah when they do Tigers in the Show at
Yeah,
the box every day.
that's right.
You might not follow Major League Baseball, but you know where those guys are and you
Yeah,
know what they're doing,
that's right.
you know? But that'll do it from us.
Yes, sir.
Uh, please like, comment, subscribe, share, subscribe to the YouTube, follow the Instagram, the TikTok, the Facebook page. I have the Twitter.
There you go.
Please give us a follow. Please share it and like and subscribe. That'll do it from us. Have a great day, a great night, great weekend. Whatever you have, just make it a great one and a happy Easter to everybody.
Yes, sir.